Hello, dear viewers. It's time for another death battle reaction. This one is Kratos versus Asura. God of War versus Asura's Wrath. Of course, always check out the original content before you check out anything of mine. And when you do, like, share, subscribe, do all that great stuff. I have a lot of stuff that I like to be working on, and aside from just traditional reaction videos. But as for these two characters, this is a matchup that I know a lot of people have wanted to hear or see. Have wanted to see. This is a matchup I think a lot of people have wanted to see for a while now. This is a matchup I think a lot of people have wanted to see for a while now. And especially at least seeing Asura brought into Death Battle and to see Kratos return. And I think this is the best time and opportunity to see that happen. Now, I'm only slightly familiar with Kratos. I know he is not only the slayer of the Olympian gods, but those of Norse. And at this point, he's pretty much on a universal scale in terms of power. That is pretty much on this universal, if not multiversal level of power. And Asura, I really don't know. I tried to bring up something about him on Wikipedia just to get a synopsis at least of the game, because I understand he only appeared in one game or something, maybe. And just trying to read this, it makes my head hurt. It's just so much going on, but at least I know that he's from Capcom. That's something, right? And being an Xbox player, naturally, you might think I might go for Asura or Asura, or whatever his name is. You might think I'm going to go with him. But, you know what? I will say I'm slightly more familiar with Kratos in this fight. So I'm going to be seeing what the analysis has to say. And we will get started. And let's play. It already looks wonderful.
Kratos versus Asura.
The Ghost of Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor. Because sometimes you just want to punch a god in the face. He's with nigh boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
The cinematic of it so far.
In the beginning,
looks
the
great.
primordials waged war across existence. A series of cosmic clashes that birthed the universe.
Boom! Now that's what I call a big bang.
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus' strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth. Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Yep.
Starting
And it
a
continues
whole
to be that
messy
way.
cycle. Uranus was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos, who was overthrown by his
Zeus.
Olympian son, Zeus, who battled his own son, Kratos.
As a classic bastard child of Zeus, Kratos was left among Spartan mortals, far exceeding all among him. He became a fierce warrior, winning many battles, until finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was joined at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain swords and basically a badass whirlwind of flame and steel.
But Ares had a scheme. While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family, permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He was, forevermore, the Ghost of Sparta.
So he was kinda understandably really pissed off. Time for a new god of war. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new god of war took out his rage on all of them. And got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's trident and Icarus's wings, Kratos dominated both sea and sky. He also has a tendency to carry powerful severed heads, like Medusa's.
And the claws of Hades could steal souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Neither Perseus or Hercules were a match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he could do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. You know, the guy who overthrew the primordial that punched the universe into existence?
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light, a frankly incomprehensible feat.
Then there's Daddy Zeus,
who proved a serious challenge, until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon, the Blade of Olympus.
It can make
I remember from
tornadoes,
Sponge
lightning,
Kratos.
force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and can pull enough to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Like a badass, he was unstoppable, non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone. What was he to do?
He didn't know. He wandered aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos had a new lease on life, but he could not escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook, especially after Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos'
Mothers
fault
don't
this
last
time,
that long.
and Faye left the tools he'd need to keep the boy safe, including the Leviathan Axe.
Far from the whirling rage of the Blades of Chaos, the Leviathan Axe was deliberate and mighty, said to rival Mjolnir itself.
Thor wishes Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's
Yeah.
imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a sword of vengeance,
He
but
can
with his new
steal
weapons and a new
destroy
purpose,
souls.
he stood as a
Spirit.
shield against the godly Asir.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now he knew how to control his anger.
Which is even more important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals himself. That seems like the opposite of what should happen.
Not all anger is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons and relics to channel his rage through.
Like the Dropnir Ring, which can summon a bunch of wind spheres. They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested with the strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder Thor, who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
Oh, and that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat me, Thor. I know, but he can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the World Tree, which is like a literal tree that connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to free the Norse world, Kratos reclaimed old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the Blade of Olympus once again.
Even better, he actually got to be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos
Well,
made a
Shovel Knight could
lifetime of
stand
mistakes,
still.
but this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past. Not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and a defender. A god of hope.
Okay.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
With Robinhood Gold, you can now
So
enjoy
that's
the
a lot of
VIP
stuff,
treatment,
and they did
receiving
bring
a
up
3%
several
IRA
times
match
that
on retirement
Kratos
contributions.
can attack
The
and
privileges of the
possibly
very
destroy
privileged
souls.
are no longer
So I don't know if
exclusive.
that's
With
going
Robin Hood
be
Gold, your
anything to
annual
ask for.
IRA contributions are boosted by 3%.
Plus, you
But,
also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average.
That's
The perks
still
of
a
the
lot
high
to
net
go
worth are
over
now
and
available
to
for
try
any
and
network.
grasp.
The
'Cause
new
I'm not
gold standard is here with
a I told you, I'm
Robinhood
an
Gold.
Xboxer,
To receive
and,
your 3% boost on
I've
annual
never played
IRA
God of War.
contributions,
I
sign up
know
at robinhood.com/gold.
Investing
I know
involves
even
risk.
less of
Rate subject to
Asura's
change.
Wrath.
3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year for
So
the
I
first
really
match
don't
and must
know
keep
what's
funds in
going to
IRA
happen.
for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost.
But they
Over
made
8
a
times the
point of
national
going
average
over
savings
Kratos'
account interest
arsenal,
rate
which
claim
I
is based on data from the
appreciate.
FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member
long
SIPC.
do these
Gold
ads keep
membership is
going?
offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Oh.
Long ago, a demigod fell from the
All
heavens,
Christmas tree.
only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free to punch everything dumb enough to get in his way. He was the demigod of Wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7 other demigod generals, Asura
Okay,
served as the
so
defender of humanity
Asura
against the
definitely has
impure
a lot-
Goma, dark spirit
Asura
monsters
definitely has
infesting
more
the world.
And the
experience.
demigods
He's been
battled the
around
Goma
longer.
by wielding a mystic energy
But
formed from
Kratos has
human
fought
prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
By tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many forms for battle, like the 6-armed Vajra, a state powerful enough to subdue the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
But he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good. At least not yet. Of course, since he's literally powered by Wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right? Right?
Funny you should say that.
God damn it.
First off, Asura is not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil, just like Asura himself. He's a
I'm
warrior,
guessing
but also
Indian.
a husband with a daughter, Mithra,
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge mantra energy.
which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously Asura wasn't gonna go along with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him. What a dick.
But true to his nature, Asura was literally too angry to die. So long as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka, a sort of limbo underworld between life and death. Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider, he did just that, with an all-new purpose in mind.
Make the gods pay! Oh yeah, they're calling themselves gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really pissed off.
And through his rage, Asura's power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wyzen.
Who could dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger? Look at this!
Asura is so powerful, his soul cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden
Can't
his
be
fist to break
manipulated, but
steel,
can't be
fire
destroyed.
explosive energy blasts.
And headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes. And when he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks without overheating.
Asura's vengeance quest wasn't all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot of that, but he also tried to protect people from the gods, including a girl who very much reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid. Like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
And then the gods killed that girl too, along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash his berserker aura.
You know how the gods were sacrificing thousands of people to power up? Well, Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years. Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yet even in berserker mode, Asura never lost total control.
Berserker Asura adds even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high even he couldn't contain it, scorching him into his wrath form.
Even though it hurts Asura while he's in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros again! Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst, then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms. His mantra form, finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast.
Deus was defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet, Asura's wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop!
It turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
And everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested
So,
Asura in the
Hindu.
form of a massive golden
Hindu
Buddha
Buddhism.
statue. Check out the size of it! That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue threw hands.
Enter the mantra reactor. Capable of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all, his daughter.
A shield larger than a planet! Unbound by his past limits, Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched through asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times faster than light, and obliterated whole stars!
Chakravartin was, understandably, impressed and offered Asura a chance to take his place. Asura smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right into Chakra's face, as if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to smack a random thug, a meteor, or Ryu, right in the balls.
It's interesting. Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything. All because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind. This battle is
Okay, so
sponsored
when
by
it comes
Prize
to,
Picks, the best
Asura,
place
I'm
to
sorry
get
I
real
didn't
money
talk
sports action.
as much
With over 10
during
million
this
members
segment.
and billions of bucks in award winnings,
it seems
Prize
like
Picks has
they
made daily fantasy
made
sports accessible
an
to
effort
everyone.
talk
It's simple.
about
All you
how
have to do is pick
grand
more
and
or less on at
huge
least 2 players
his
for a shot to
power
win up to
scaling is
1,000
and
times your
all his
cash.
different
And when you want to
forms,
find
which
non-standard
I
options
think
that are
will,
harder or easier to
be a
win, just
fine
look for the little
counter to,
goblins. Love those little guys.
Kratos'
The big
many
game is
different weapons.
almost here, so don't miss out on the last
think
football game of the
Kratos
season
might
with
have
Prize
this,
Picks. Prize Picks
because
is
if I'm
even
not
giving away a
mistaken,
free pick for
the,
the game. To win, one of the
scale
starting
at
quarterbacks
which
only needs to
the,
throw
World
1 yard.
is,
But
it's not just
what if
this
they don't?
universe, but
Sorry?
all universe.
What if they only threw it half
So,
a yard?
Then they wouldn't be in the big
the
game.
fact that he
Oh,
can
yeah,
fight
good
something
point.
that
I'm in.
threatens that.
Download the
I
app
think
today and
Kratos
use
does
code
have
DEATH to
the
get $50
advantage
instantly
in
after
terms
you
of
play your
sheer
first
power.
$5 lineup.
But
Yep, if you download the app and use code DEATH, you'll get $50 after your first $5 lineup.
Prize Picks,
just-
run your game.
I'm trying to think what would kill the other.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
I think
It's
Asura has
time
a.
for a death battle!
I'm going with Kratos. I'm going to side with Kratos. Kratos is going to win. The god of war. Already, this is a beautiful scene. This is a beautiful. This is a beautiful shot.
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia. But not for long. You do not want this fight.
I think Kratos. I enjoy Kratos, I think, as a character more. Just how he's just like, I've been doing this for so long. And you don't want it. There goes that. I love the quick timing. And I like the wording here. That Kratos is like, what the hell is going on here?
You let your wrath consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up!
I love
Very well.
I love the story. I love the story elements and the narrative of this. And the music is so great. Wow. Oh, the different spears.
This is not my end!
Come on, Kratos. This is it. Here's that Asura's Wrath meme I've seen so many times. That he can scale with Atlas.
Death has not earned me yet, Titan!
Oh, that is a great line. That is. Oh!
Deserve a worthy end!
This is a quick time event right here.
You are a monster no longer. I never was.
Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go? Even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some amazing displays of apocalyptic destruction, but the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoo-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't mean he couldn't. Remember, as usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from gameplay restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios is emphasized to be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify, but that's consistent with the shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster, the primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their speeds are generally even.
But what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience. Asura lived across centuries, obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura easily takes experience. But when it comes to versatility, he couldn't match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
A whole lot of punching.
Kratos' weapons, magic, runes, relics, and even his rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing down time, healing injuries, and most importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like mantra.
Yeah, when Asura loses all his mantra energy, that's it for him. So the Dropnir spears and the Blade of Olympus gave Kratos exactly what he needed. Versatility, and multiple ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back out of the underworld.
If he could, Asura's resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what he can do! If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a closer examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add in the density of gold, for good measure assuming the form is solid throughout, and its mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and unfathomable. However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a different beast than Kratos, but what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for a significant time.
So Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoin, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction. And this isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath too, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asura's the sun rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
The winner is Kratos.
But what if?
Oh. I like that.
And that concludes my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end. Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, they're finally doing it!
Subscribe and become a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn. It's funny that we're getting Ghost Rider versus Spawn next time, considering that the previous fight, or the last time we saw Spawn was fighting Kratos. So I think that's a very nice like twist on things. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I don't know how it's going to be done, if it's going to be animated, if it's going to be 3D animated or pixel sprite. It looks like it could have been computer or hand drawn. That would be freaking awesome. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Probably would save that to Halloween. But what do you think, dear viewers? I'm sorry I wasn't that vocal, but I was just more like, okay. But this was a great fight. It was wonderful. I thought it was very well done. It was such a beautiful matchup. It was very, very beautiful. And you can tell the hard work and effort put into each frame was well worth it. And I'm so glad Death Battle is back. But what do you, dear viewers, think? Did you enjoy this? Comment below. Please let me know. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care. And see you next time.